I used to believe that if you love someone long enough, you'd eventually understand them completely. I was wrong. What actually happens is you start making excuses for things that would have terrified you if a stranger did them. It started with tension I couldn't explain. The air felt heavier when Maya walked into a room. Conversations ended quicker. Eye contact disappeared. When I asked if something was wrong, she said I was imagining things. I believed her. I always believed her. Then came the accusations. She'd ask where I was, then accuse me of lying when I answered. She'd check my tone, my posture, the way I breathed. If I seemed defensive, it meant I was hiding something. If I stayed calm, it meant I was detached. There was no correct response. Every argument ended with her crying and me apologizing, even when I didn't know what I was apologizing for. That's how it starts. You don't realize you're being conditioned. You just feel like you're constantly failing a test you were never given the answers to. The night the police came, I was actually relieved when I heard the knock. I thought it was her. I thought we were finally going to talk. I opened the door and saw two officers instead. They said my name like it already meant something bad. They said my wife was scared of me. That word, scared, didn't make sense. Maya had never been scared of me. She used to tease me for jumping at loud noises. She used to grab my arm in horror movies because she got scared. Then I saw her behind them, wrapped in a blanket, crying. Her face wasn't fear, it was performance. I didn't understand that yet. I kept saying her name, asking what was happening, asking her to explain. She wouldn't look at me. She told them I'd been yelling for weeks, that I'd been unpredictable, that she didn't know what I was capable of anymore. I felt like I'd stepped into a parallel version of my life where I was the villain. They handcuffed me in my driveway. My neighbors watched from their windows. No one asked questions. They never do. Jail strips you down in ways that have nothing to do with clothes. You lose time, context, identity. I sat on a metal bench trying to remember the last time I'd laughed with my wife, trying to pinpoint when love turned into suspicion. I wondered if I'd missed something obvious, if I'd unknowingly become the man she was describing. Gaslighting does that. It convinces you to put yourself on trial. When I was released, I expected relief. Instead, I got divorce papers. She filed immediately. She claimed emotional abuse, intimidation, instability. She requested full custody of our daughter, Lily, because she feared for her safety. Reading those words felt like being erased while still breathing. My job told me not to come back until things were cleared up. Friends avoided me. Some sent messages that sounded supportive, but distant, like condolences instead of belief. No one asked me what happened. They just asked if Maya was okay. That's when I understood something important. Truth doesn't matter when fear gets there first. The apartment I moved into felt like a waiting room. Bare walls, thin carpet, silence that rang in my ears. I kept expecting Maya to call and say this had gone too far. She never did. The only thing keeping me upright was Lily. Our weekly supervised video calls felt unnatural, like my fatherhood had been reduced to a privilege instead of a right. Lily tried to act normal, but kids notice things adults think they're hiding. One day she asked why mommy cried when she talked about me. Another day she asked why mommy said I had bad moods. The last time, she asked if I was going to hurt her too. I muted the call and cried where she couldn't see. That's when I realized this wasn't just about divorce. This was about control. The first email came late at night. A neighbor. She said she didn't believe Maya's story. She said she'd seen a man coming and going when I wasn't home. She said she'd stayed quiet because she didn't want to get involved. I read it over and over. My hands shook, but part of me still resisted believing it. Accepting it meant admitting my marriage had been a lie long before it ended. Then Maya's best friend messaged me. She said she couldn't carry it anymore. She told me about Lucas, how long it had been going on, how Maya had rehearsed conversations, how she'd said, if I don't control the story, he'll ruin everything. I felt something snap inside me. Not anger, clarity. Hiring a private investigator felt surreal, like I was watching someone else's life unfold. The evidence came back in layers. Texts that overlapped with our anniversaries. hotel bookings during work trips, voice messages where she talked about me like a problem to solve. Then there were recordings, her voice calm and focused, practicing lines. How did he grab you? Say it scared you. Don't overdo it. I sat on my apartment floor listening to my wife plan my destruction like it was a project. That's when I stopped missing her. Court stretched on for months. Maya played her role perfectly. She cried softly. She avoided eye contact. She talked about feeling unsafe without ever giving details. People leaned toward her when she spoke. When it was my turn, I felt like I was defending myself against a ghost. Then my lawyer played the recordings. The room changed. Maya stopped crying. She stared straight ahead like she was bored. The judge asked her questions she couldn't answer. That was the moment her story collapsed under its own weight. The charges were dropped. The restraining order was lifted. Custody was reevaluated. Maya didn't apologize. She didn't look ashamed. She looked irritated, like the plan hadn't worked the way she expected. I got shared custody. Lily came back into my life slowly, cautiously, like she was testing whether I was real again. She laughs more now. She sleeps better. Sometimes she asks why mommy lies. I tell her some people lie because the truth would expose who they really are. I don't poison her against her mother. The truth will do enough damage on its own. Some nights I still sit in silence and feel it press against my chest. But it's different now. It doesn't scream. It doesn't accuse. It just exists. And so do I. I survived something designed to erase me. And that's the part of the story Maya never planned for.